Hi everyone. I hope that this is coming through. As you are probably aware, I'm not very technical. I leave all that to other people. Let me see if I can see this coming. I'll need to refresh the page. Yep, it looks like it's working. So, hopefully, you're still maintaining your enthusiasm and I've got the camera the other way round today, hoping that it'll give a better picture, if anything, that I'm sharing and looking at. And hopefully it'll be bigger for you. Somebody yesterday pointed out that I had a credit card on display on the video, and thanks for that. However, that credit card is no longer in use, so if you can get any money out of it, you're a better man than I am, Gunga Din. I was hoping that we would have resolved all our issues by this time, but there are still some issues outstanding, and the team in India is working on it, and I've not been able to get in touch with them just in the last hour, so I'm not quite sure what's happening there. But I can assure you that we are working towards getting this thing launched by tomorrow, and the live event that we have tomorrow will be running you through the back office and what you need to do and what's changed and so on and so forth. However, today what I wanted to focus on, seeing as we're not at that stage, was to talk a little bit more about currency, and not just cryptocurrencies. This really refers to all currencies. I don't know how I get me back on here. Just a second. This one, I think. Yeah. Okay. All currencies. What is a currency? What is it? And really, all it is something that a group of people have agreed to use in place of barter. So that instead of giving 6 oranges for a dozen eggs, you give a dollar, or somebody gives you $1 for 6 oranges, and then you go and buy a dozen eggs for $1. And it's no more than that. Currency has no value other than the value that the users are prepared to give for the currency. At one time, the US dollar, for example, was backed by the gold standard, and at that time the currency had something behind it more than just this unspoken agreement for everybody to just use it in good faith. That gave the currency some stability. It was not something that would prevent inflation. It was because the thing that it was backed by was just one item, and that was gold. And gold is not a currency. Gold, although it's been minted into coins and used as currency in some instances, gold is a commodity, just the same as wheat or oil or anything else that you may want to buy. And commodities differ in value as they are affected by supply and demand, essentially. Gold is often claimed to have increased massively in value, but the value of gold has increased, but it's much smaller than is usually claimed. What has happened is the value of the dollar to which gold is compared has in fact changed because the dollar has gone down in value. So the value of the dollar has decreased, which has meant that you need more dollars to buy gold. And so that makes it look as though the value of gold has increased. It hasn't really. If gold value increases, it means that what you could buy with an ounce of gold a year ago in something of consistent value, such as a food product, let's say bushels of wheat. Let's say a year ago, an ounce of gold would buy 1,000 bushels of wheat. If today gold will buy 2,000 bushels of wheat, then gold has doubled in value. But if it will still only buy 1,000 bushels of wheat, it's the same value, even though it may have been $100 a year ago and it's $500 today. So currency is largely manipulated by governments because most of the currencies in the world are government issued currencies for a country, and they're manipulated by changing interest rates in the country's system. Higher interest rates may increase the demand for the currency, and an increased demand for the currency increases the value of the currency. Interest rates falling may have the opposite effect. It's also manipulated by the fact that because there is no standard against which a currency is held, there is no gold standard anymore for any currencies, then if a government needs more cash, it needs to spend $1 billion on defence, then all it does is it mints $1 billion more in currency, and it's got that funding that it then can use to buy whatever it was it needed for defence. This would be illegal in a company. It is literally a watering down of capital. It's like a company selling 1,000 shares for $1 each, and each share being worth that $1. And then, without anybody knowing, it issues another 1,000 shares, and the company still has the same value, but the value of the shares now is only 50 cents. And that is what is illegal. It's a watering down of capital. But the government does this on an ongoing basis. And what it does is it devalues the currency, and it waters down the value of the currency in the pocket of the people using the currency, mainly the citizens of that country. And this isn't one country that does it, it's pretty common throughout the world that all countries do this. So what maintains the value of a currency is the credibility of the government, the acceptance of the people in that credibility, and the desire of the people to use that currency. And if we get a situation that happens rarely in any of the what's classed as first world countries, but it can happen in, and does happen in, third world countries, is where faith in the government is damaged and people no longer want that currency, and so you get runaway inflation. And this happened in the Western world in I think it was in Hungary at the end of World War II, and the currency of that country was destroyed, basically. And it's happened to a lesser extent, but still a very noticeable extent in countries, and it's happening constantly throughout the world today. So that is currency manipulated by a government, accepted by the people. Cryptocurrencies are different in the fact that nobody owns them. They may be accepted by the community, like Bitcoin, for example, came on the scene. It's not owned by anybody. People hold Bitcoin, but it's not controlled by anything other than supply and demand, an acceptance of that coin as something of value that can be exchanged for real, tangible assets. There have been, since Bitcoin arrived on the scene, many other coins. Most of them have been created in the way that a government manipulates currency by the creators of that currency, simply to give them more funds for them to spend on whatever they decide. This basically is a scam, and this is what most of the coins have been issued for. There are some that are above that, but 99.999% of all new coins, tokens on the market are issued to line the pockets of the people that bring those coins into play. The small percentage that aren't have something behind them. They are accepted by a community to be used, such as Ethereum, which has its own blockchain. The blockchain doesn't matter in what we're talking about here. That's just a way of accounting for the transfers of coins. What matters is the integrity behind the coin. Was it designed purely as a scam? Was it designed just to lure potential investors into buying the coins so that the person that issued the coin, the person that set it all up, can run away with the cash? Or was there a real purpose behind the coin? And if there's a real purpose behind the coin, that gives that coin strength and stability. And that is the difference between most of the issue of new coins and tokens and coins that have value. I was talking yesterday about Luke's program, Hashing Ad Space. The guy is honest, has good vision, good knowledge, and he created a CME to be used not to raise capital for himself, but to be used by the community, and that is an example of a good coin. We have the same in the Dassault token. There's not been any ICO, and there never will be. That's an initial coin offering where you basically tell people in big publicity that this is going to be a good investment, you're going to make a lot of money with it. There were a few coins that were offered to my subscribers, but tiny amounts. I was approached by various people, I think three in particular, who claimed to be what I can only class as manipulators of the cryptocurrency market. They wanted me to launch SORP. They saw what was behind it. They wanted me to launch it as an ICO, and they said, we can raise millions and millions of dollars doing this. Of course, they wanted a cut. But I refused to do that because we have integrity in the SORP token. It is our currency. It is what we are using, and it is what backed by the We Share Abundance mission and business, and it will be accepted by our community. And the more our community grows, the more stability that token will have. There are different things that affect the stability of a currency, whether it's a crypto or whether it's a fiat currency like the dollar or the yen or whatever. That is the number of people using the currency. Now that's very important. The more people that use it, the more accepted it becomes, the more liquidity there is in that, the easier it is to change it for something else that you want, whether that be another currency or a product. So the number of people using it is very important, and that's why a lot of people, you've perhaps heard of things like airdrops, and this is what some people that have coins and tokens do. They issue them willy-nilly to as many people as they can to get a wide usage. It's usually part of the scam to pump up the value of the coin and then dump the coin by selling out all you've got, leaving the small investors holding the baby. Our token will only be issued through the membership here, through people generating tokens on a very small scale each month. There's a maximum of 20,000 tokens that will be issued each month to pay people the rewards. As the reward value increases, for example, if you've got 10 people earning $2 a month, it's only $20. But if you've got 1,000 people earning $2 a month, it's $2,000. What was the first example? At $20, if you've got 20,000 tokens to issue, then the value of those tokens is very, very low, because 20,000 into $20, it means each token is only worth 1,000th of a dollar. In the other example, if you've got $20,000 and 20,000 tokens, the token is now worth $1. And if you've got 1 million people earning $2, that's 2 million, there's still only 20,000 tokens. The value of the SOAP token increases again. Within the community, what happens outside the community is down to the membership here, because you are the people that control this in its supply and demand. If you have 1,000 tokens and you want to sell them quickly because you need some cash, and we are guaranteeing a minimum value on the site for people to buy their stake in pools, or as we progress, to buy pay-per-click advertising, video advertising, other products that we will have in the mall, and various other things. If people want to buy the tokens, then if we have a minimum value of, say, $5, that they can buy whatever it is they want on the site, and somebody has 1,000 tokens and they say, oh, well, I just want to out of this quick, I need $1,000, I'll sell them for $1 each to get a quick sale. That will do you no good. You'd be far better off selling 200 tokens at $5 and keeping the balance of your tokens. It'll do your peers, the other members of our community, no good, because it's reducing the value of their tokens. And so the value of the token will depend on the number of members and the integrity of those members in maintaining a good supply and demand for the tokens. Our membership will grow, and it will grow rapidly, and I went into that in some detail yesterday, and there is in the site now a place where you can download that spreadsheet and have a look at it, and you'll be able to follow through it, watching the video that I did yesterday. So that'll show you how we plan to grow. It's an ideal. It's not set in stone. It's not going to work exactly as the way the spreadsheet shows. It'll work in a very different way, and I expect us to grow very, very rapidly in the first 2 to 3 months as people learn about this, recognise it as being a wonderful and amazing opportunity, which it is, but then they'll start to learn that it's far more than that. It is a mission to combat poverty on a global scale. It's a very grand mission, but it is our mission. And with the integrity of the members, with the plan that we have in place, with the guaranteed minimum value on the site, then the value of the tokens will increase, and I honestly believe, that we can make the token, the SOAP token, greater in value in the coming years than any other cryptocurrency that there is out there now or in the future. I believe we can become number one. I also believe that we're going to reach 5 million members in the coming couple of years. Most of those are going to be people who need this program for survival rather than for buying a better car. There will be a lot of people that will enjoy the fact that they are able to buy a better car, move into a different area, a bigger home, take more vacations. And that's fine, that's a byproduct as far as I'm concerned. The main product will be for the people who need an extra $10, $15, $20 to put food on the table. And the second major product will be the fact that through this program there will be profits generated, and these will probably start around about the 45,000 member mark. And those profits will all be used again to help people that are struggling for survival. Especially children will be focused especially on children. They're the future of this planet, and no child was born to suffer. So we'll be focusing on that where we can. And as we grow, my initial target, and it is only an initial target, it will get beyond this, is to have $2 million that we can put into charitable works to help people that can't even afford an internet connection to get involved in this plan. People that don't have a smartphone, people that are in camps relying on charity for a bag of rice or whatever. And this is the objective. Along the way, yeah, we're going to make a lot of people a lot of money. Your first $50,000 that you make will have a massive impact on you in that you'll get rid of it very quickly. You'll be able to buy the things that you've always wanted. You'll be able to clear out your debts and cut up your credit cards. You will see that and it'll free you up. But the money that you're making beyond that is where the difference in your life will really start to take shape, and you'll move from survival into higher things, higher achievements. You'll regard more peace and hope and love and happiness and these things more than the actual cash. And that may not sound realistic at this stage, because I know that most of the people that are here because they need additional cash. That there are things in their life that they're missing, and that's fine. But I know also that deep down inside everybody, it's not just about survival. There's more to life than just surviving. That true happiness comes through service, through giving, through love. You know the pleasure that you get from doing a favour to somebody anonymously. They don't know who you are, they don't know why you did this, why you helped them, but they're grateful for it, and you get that big kick out of that. And that is what this program will enable us all to share in doing. And it'll do it through the growing membership, the integrity of the membership, the sharing and the love of the abundance which is ours by right, that was always there for us, and it is there for us. All we've got to do is reach out and take it, and the more we share it, the more we ourselves will have. That's a natural law. So really, that's all I've got for you. I've not got any updates on where we are with the development of the site. I know that they wanted a day to get things right and then a day to test things, and we've reached the end of that day. And as I say, I've been unable to get in touch with them. The developers that we have are in the Silicon Valley of India, and it's not always easy to get in communication the way that we want. No doubt I will have more information. Hopefully we'll have everything up and running. I was given, but this was much earlier in the day, access into the new site in the back end, and it was evident that there was a lot there that was really good, nice and clean, easier to understand, but it was also obvious that there were some things that weren't working as they should, and so that's what they're doing. They're making sure that everything is right. We did test this extensively on the development site, and we had everything working perfectly. Why it doesn't work when it's moved into another site is totally beyond my comprehension. I don't understand programming. I don't understand how it all works. I only know that it always takes more time than you think it's going to take, and it always costs you a lot more money than you think it's going to cost as well. So that's where we are now. We are still planning to have this launched in beta by tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to do a run through the back office, get everybody up and running and making money and sharing money, sharing abundance, which isn't just money. It's more than that. Money is just a tiny, tiny part of abundance that seems important when you haven't got it, but as you have more, it really pales into insignificance alongside the other aspects of abundance, which are peace, hope, harmony, health, happiness, love. All these aspects become more important than money. Money is just a tool. It's a currency. It's just used as a tool to barter, and that's it. And it will get you all you want, but the acquisition of material things is never going to create everlasting happiness. It's the other aspects of abundance that will bring you that ever new joy, that everlasting happiness that we all really seek in our lives. And that's all I can offer you today, and I'll be back same time tomorrow with good news. Let's pray for good news for this time tomorrow. A beta launch. God bless.